Last week here on Smashdown in week 3 of the March season, Brandon Copeland and the brand new Wildfoot machine knocked out Razin Kane in the final round to claim his first Smashdown championship. Is the Wildfoot team going to hang on to the flag tonight? We find out next. It's the end of the March season here on Smashdown, ladies and gentlemen. Tonight, 16 of the best trucks and drivers are throwing it down one more time in the March season. They're trying to gain as many points as possible to carry over themselves into the April season, as well as chase down Brandon Copeland and Wildfoot, who currently possesses the Smashdown Championship flag on the back of the Wildfoot Ford. It's going to be a night slam full of great racing and a lot of great monster truck action. We're getting round 1 kicked off here tonight to close out the March season. Up first, we're going to see the Patriot take on King Crunch. Then Monster Mutt's going to take on the Wild Hare. Cowboy will go up against Razin Kane. And then Rammunition's going to take on the Nitro Machine. On the other side of the bracket, Lumberjack gets first crack at the champion and Wildfoot. Now up at the line first, Starvin' Corey Marvin, who debuted the Patriot at the start of the March season, is in the lineup to take on the King Crunch Chevrolet. Out of Spring, Texas, Eric Latiki at the starting line. Hasn't been running too hot all March season long. He's trying to get a big win here tonight. He knows Marvin and the Patriot are dialed in. Who's going on to round 2 to close the March season? Green light goes down. Now King Crunch got him up the line. Patriot hanging right there with him. And look out, Patriot upside down in the shutdown area. King Crunch was right there with him the whole time. Corey Marvin knew he was in trouble, had to put the hammer down, got some pretty big air over no man's land. As we go back and take another look here, off the line, King Crunch, the Chevrolet out of Spring, Texas, getting the lead on the Patriot, but watch right here as they go up and over no man's land. The horsepower out of the Patriot flying high, and he gets out of shape there going across the finish line, had nowhere to go but upside down. Starvin' Corey Marvin, your round 1 winner. King Crunch on the trailer. Now next up in round 1 action, we've got the return of the legendary Wild Hare. Chevrolet hasn't been running so hot this year in the March season. Ethan Wagner, second generation driver behind the wheel. He will now take on Nathan Smith, Monster Mutt, ready to go on the far lane as you see the damage done as a couple of rollovers in the past few weeks of the March season. He is now set to take on the Wild Hare Chevrolet. Both trucks are now staged, ready to go. Green light goes down and Monster Mutt with a whole shot leaving Wild Hare. The dust over the car. Wild Hare coming back on him. Almost may have closed in the gap there at the finish line. Monster Mutt left Wild Hare making a sandwich at the start line. As we go back to our photo finish, it was close towards the end. Monster Mutt's your winner over the Wild Hare, moving on into round 2. Next up at the line, Javon Woodrow bringing back the bad fast Razin Kane. He's been nothing but impressive all March season long here on Smashdown. Over in the other lane, out of Bushnell, Florida, the Cowboy Chevrolet. Aaron Lack ready to go. He's been doing good himself in the March season. The Cowboy truck running strong here tonight. 2 drivers going to be throwing it down in round 1 action. Who moves on into round 2? Cowboy taking on Razin Kane. Here's the green light. Cowboy with a whole shot down. Razin Kane coming back over no man's land. What a race, ladies and gentlemen. Both drivers know how critical these points are. In the last week of the March season, they just threw down a bad fast pass. Let's go down to our MTA photo finish. Try to figure out who got the racing win. And it's going to be Javon Woodrow and Razin Kane by inches, taking out the Cowboy. What a great race it was. Next up in round 1, it's the return of Daniel Chichagash, the Dodge-powered Rammunition coming to the line, former one-time Thunder champion. He will now draw up against new kid on the block, Elijah Wheeler, the WCW Nitro Machine, the Chevy Astro van, staged down the far lane. He's trying to make a name for himself out here on the Smashdown circuit. He's trying to take out the big bad Dodge there in the near lane. Chevrolet taking on Dodge in round 1 on Smashdown. Week 4 of the March season. Both trucks are staged. Here's the green light now. Nitro Machine with a whole shot. Rammunition trying to come back on him and does. Rammunition now, look out, turns it over on the bus. Rammunition was trying to shut it down. Shot towards the center of the track, hitting the bus ramp there and rolled the truck over nonetheless. Rammunition moving on in a round 2 competition. Next up at the line, it's the Iceman himself, Jeffrey Skipper in the U.S. Air Force Afterburner. Took home a win here on Smashdown a couple of weeks ago. He will now take on the 2022 Full Throttle Champion, Jimmy Bones Ferguson, the 1957 Chevy Bel Air out of Columbus, Michigan, ready to go on the inside lane. Stage down as the green light drops. Avenger got the lead on him off the line. Up and over no man's land now, and Avenger pulls it out in the end, taking out U.S. Air Force Afterburner here in round 1. Jimmy Ferguson and Avenger advance on into round 2. The Afterburner on the trailer here tonight with low points to go into his total as he's the current points leader. Next up in round 1, Raylan Mullins and Medusa coming to the line to take on the Monster Mania 4 champion, Joey Andrews out of Hagerstown, Maryland, the Black Stallion Ford, ready to go on the far lane, taking on the other Ford out of Orlando, Florida, in Medusa. Can she knock off the Monster Mania 4 champion? Green light goes down now, and Stallion with a whole shot. Medusa trying to come back on the cars, and what a race! It was close down to the wire. Ladies and gentlemen, that may have been the closest race of the night. Who got the win? I'm not sure. We're going to have to go down to our photo finish, try to figure out who got this round 1 win. And is looking at our photo finish, it's going to be Raylan Mullins and Medusa knocking out the Monster Mania 4 champion, Black Stallion. Next up in round 1, the Cyclops Chevrolet, driven by second-generation driver Austin Wagner, coming back to the line. He will now take on Peanut out of Paxton, Illinois. Maximum Destruction ready to go at the line. And as you can see when we get the shot over to him, Max D is tore up after turning the truck over a couple of weeks ago. He is back in action. The crew got him fixed. Who's going to round 2? Here's the green light now down the straight. Fix and go. They're pretty much even now. Max D and Struggle rolls it over. Hard crash for Max D. And it looks like Austin Wagner, Cyclops Chevrolet, will advance on into round 2. And ladies and gentlemen, what a crash by Peanut and Max D as we go back and take another look. Both drivers cut a great light. They're pretty much even down that straight stretch. It's the first jump here. Watch your inside lane at Max D. The rear steer kicks on him. He tries to gather it up, rolling the truck over right over the racing lane cars. And what a crash there by Peanut. It must run in the family, ladies and gentlemen, as his Uncle Shaggy turns over Gravedigger the Legend all the time. Nonetheless, NTA track crew and officials are down there to roll Max D over once again this March season. And as you can tell, the body parts are scattered all over the place. Who else knows what's wrong with that truck? We'll try to get a word from that Max D team later on here tonight. What a way to end the season, though. Peanut always putting on a show. Cyclops, your round 1 winner over Max D. Next up in competition as we close out round 1, Aiden Johnson and Lumberjack ready to go at the start line. He draws up the champion, Brandon Copeland, in the brand new Wildfoot, ready to rock and roll here tonight. He's trying to defend that flag and hang on to it to advance on into the April season. Lumberjack, always a strong contender. He might have enough in the tank to dethrone the champion here in round 1. Who goes to round 2? Wildfoot and Lumberjack as we go green. Off the line they go. Wildfoot with a slight lead. Lumberjack right there with him down on the car. And it was way too close at the end, but Wildfoot is your round 1 winner, putting Lumberjack on the trailer. So Wildfoot will hang on to the flag, advancing on in a round 2 competition. And speaking of round 2, before we get to the action, we have taken our cameras and went down to the pit area. We are down here with Peanut and the Max D team. They're getting that truck loaded up into the hauler. After sustaining a lot of damage this March season, that Max D team's got a lot of thrashing and a lot of work to do to bring it back. Hopefully we'll see him back in the April season of Smashdown or Thursday Night Thunder. Well, back here now with round 2 action on Smashdown. The bracket shakes down like this. The Patriots going to take on Monster Mutt. Razin Kane will take on Rammunition. Avenger's going to take on Medusa. And on the last half of the bracket, Cyclops will get a crack at the champion, Brandon Copeland and Wildfoot, who still holds that Smashdown flag on the back of the big bad Ford. Now up first in round 2, we've got Nathan Smith returning. Monster Mutt looked fast in round 1 competition. He will now take on Starvin' Corey Marvin, who rolled the Patriot over in round 1 competition. The crew got him back. He's ready to go to try to knock out Monster Mutt here in round 2 and advance on in the semifinals. The Patriots been working good for him. Nathan Smith and the Mutt, they're hungry. Green light goes down. The Mutt got the whole shot. Patriot coming back on him over the last of the car. The Mutt goes towards the wall, and Starvin' Corey Marvin gives the old Lumberjack a love tap in the shutdown area. He picks up the round 2 victory over Nathan Smith and Monster Mutt. The Patriot will move on in the semifinal competition here in the March season. Now, next up in round 2 competition is the return of the Big Bad Dodge. Daniel Chichagaj's Rammunition coming to the line, ready to take on Javon Woodrow. The dude is hungry out here for his first Smashdown win. Made it to the finals a couple of weeks ago. Razin Kane ready to go on the inside lane. Will he have enough to knock out Daniel Chichagaj and Rammunition the Dodge in the far lane? Here's the green light now down the straight. No, they're pretty much even down to the first jump over no man's land. And Razin Kane, look out! What a ride for Javon Woodrow and Razin Kane. A violent crash in the shutdown area, but Cheech was right there with him in Rammunition. What an incredible race here in round 2. Let's go back to our replay and take another look at it here. Even off the line, looks like maybe a slight lead to Razin Kane on the inside lane. Watch right here as they go up and over no man's land. Razin Kane shooting for the stars. The air by Rammunition, but watch Razin Kane on the inside. Rolls over hard. The crew's going to be working on that truck if he can make it back for semifinal competition. What a great race here in round 2. Moving right along, however, Raylan Mullins returns. The Medusa Ford out of Orlando, Florida, takes on the Chevrolet out of Columbus, Michigan. Jimmy Ferguson and Avenger, both trucks are staged at the line. Ford versus Chevrolet. Both these drivers want a Smashdown win here tonight to close out the March season. Who's it going to be as we go green? Down the straight stretch now, Medusa with the lead. Avenger trying to play catch-up on her. He may have pulled it out in the end. He may have put the Chevrolet horsepower down enough to chase down Medusa all the way to the last set of cars as we go down to our MTA photo finish. Medusa tapping the wall down there trying to shut it down. But your round 2 winner, ladies and gentlemen, Raylan Mullins and Medusa over Avenger. And now to close out round 2 action, the flag back on the line. Brandon Copeland and Wildfoot out of Pacific, Missouri. Now ready to take on Austin Wagner, the Cyclops Chevrolet. He's hungry to put Cyclops in the winner's circle against Cyclops on the old Rampage chassis there in the far lane. Brandon Copeland and Wildfoot, a brand new truck debuting here this season. Wildfoot ready to go in the far lane. Ford and Chevrolet matchup. The green light goes down now, and Wildfoot with a whole shot now, holding the lead on Cyclops, put the Ford horsepower down. What a run for Brandon Copeland and Wildfoot. An amazing pass out of the inside lane. So the flag remains on the back of Wildfoot as we get ready to move on in the semifinal competition. 4 trucks remain in a bracket of 16 at the end of the March season. Will Brandon Copeland and Wildfoot hang on to the flag into the April season? We're going to find out next. Ladies and gentlemen, don't go anywhere. We've got more racing to come because semifinals are coming up next. What's going on, MTA fans? If you're looking to get in on the action right here on the MTA YouTube channel, look no further. I'm about to tell you guys just how you can sign up to get in one of these races. Head over to the link in our description, and that's going to take you right over to our Facebook page where we hold registration for all of the MTA events. And hey, while you're there, crush that subscribe button. Be sure to turn on the notification bell so you stay up to date with everything that MTA is doing. From new custom truck builds to special events and giveaways, you don't want to miss any of the great action MTA has to offer. Be sure to subscribe to us on YouTube, follow us on Instagram and TikTok, and I'll catch you guys down the road. Welcome back to Smashdown, ladies and gentlemen, as we get ready for semifinal action. It's going to be the Patriot taking on Razin Kane. Over on the other side of the bracket, Medusa will get crack at the champion, Brandon Copeland and Wildfoot. One of those Fords are walking away with the Smashdown flag to take it to the finals. Who's it going to be? We're going to find out, because at the starting line now, the story, Javon Woodrow and Razin Kane had the violent rollover earlier tonight in round 2. The crew has got him back and ready to go. He may not be at 100%. However, he draws up a kid that's hungry. Starving Corey Marvin, the longtime MTA veteran, now finds his seat in the Patriot, ready to rock and roll and show it down here in semifinals as we get ready to see who's going to the final round. Razin Kane taking on the Patriot. Green light goes down now. They're even off the start, slightly down to the Patriot over no man's land. It's close. Razin Kane getting wild in the far lane, but Corey Marvin and the Patriot, your semifinal winner, taking out Razin Kane. A great race nonetheless. Moving along to the end of the semifinal action, Brandon Copeland returns. Wildfoot looked wicked fast in the last round. He now draws up against Raylan Mullins. She's hungry for her first Smashdown championship here tonight. Can Medusa, the Ford out of Orlando, Florida, get the job done over the Ford out of Pacific, Missouri? A Ford oval shootout here in semis. Stage now, green light goes down, and it looks like Wildfoot with a whole shot. Medusa coming back on him now. Look now, Wildfoot turns it over in the shutdown area. Brandon Copeland knew he had his hands full all the way down to the end. I'm not sure who got the win and who's going to the finals. Let's take a look. Raylan Mullins and Medusa dethrones the champion here to close out semi-final action. And ladies and gentlemen, it's what we all come to see. A tough battle through and through. But the last two remaining trucks, Medusa and the Patriot, who will take the checkered flag into the next season, we're going to find out right now, ladies and gentlemen. Corey Marvin bringing back the Patriot, rolled the truck over earlier tonight in round one. Raylan Mullins, she's hungry. She just knocked out the champion in Wildfoot. One of these trucks are moving on into the April season with the Smashdown flag hanging off the back. Ladies and gentlemen, Medusa, the Patriot. It's showtime here on Smashdown, even down the line. Now we got to race here to the finish line, and what a close one it is. Medusa turning the truck over in the shutdown area, hitting the van stack. Corey Marvin was hanging right there with her the whole way down. An incredible final here to close out the March season. Let's go back to our MTA replay. Off the line, maybe a slight lead to Medusa out of the far lane. Starving Corey Marvin putting the Patriot horsepower down, flying high over no man's land right here. They're a shootout to the finish line, and it was close by half a truck. Raylan Mullins and Medusa pulled out the win, and now the Smashdown flag will go on Medusa, and she will carry it into the April season of Smashdown. A great race by Corey Marvin nonetheless. But ladies and gentlemen, congratulations to Raylan Mullins on your first Smashdown championship. And now, ladies and gentlemen, as we look at the overall points bracket to close out the March season in the lower half of the standings, Wild Hair, King Crunch, Rammunition, and Monster Mutt end out the season with 125 points even all the way down the board. So those guys hopefully will be back after registration next season. Now in the top half of the bracket, with tonight's big win, Raylan Mullins and Medusa moved to spot number 5. However, she will carry the flag into the next season. We have a two-way tie for the overall points championship lead between Brandon Copeland and Wildfoot, and starving Corey Marvin and the Patriot with 175 points. So what we do here on the MTA YouTube channel, we're going to show it down. They're going to be racing for 1 point. Brandon Copeland and Wildfoot at the starting line. Corey Marvin and the Patriot on the other lane. They're going to shoot out to this finish line to try and gain 1 point and claim the overall points championship. Stage now. Green light goes down. Wildfoot, the Patriot for the points championship over the car, and Patriot will pull it out. Hard crash for Wildfoot out of the far lane, and it looks like starving Corey Marvin will get the 1 point he needed, ending his season with 176 points. He will beat out Wildfoot. So ladies and gentlemen, your March season points champion, starving Corey Marvin and the Patriot. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I sure hope you enjoyed the debut season of Smashdown right here on the MTA YouTube channel. We had some great racing action all March season long, and we hope to see you back for the April season. Be sure to go to our Facebook page, sign up for registration. If you haven't already, crush that subscribe button, and we'll catch you down the road. See you next week.